What's good, YouTube? Hey, it's the witching hour, y'all, and I'm down low key because I have to be considerate of the rest of the TP here. We got some sleepers, and this couldn't wait because I stopped through. I just kind of fell off into a little live stream with one of my baby dolls from YouTube, a fellow colleague of mine who over the past several months we have begun to blossom lovely connection. And I like I said before, I've met some beautiful women on here and some women that ain't all that cute, if you feel what I'm saying. And I just got off of this stream, and you know, it was I'm feeling a little melancholy about it. Had to, I didn't have to. Let me rephrase that. I took it to a very ratchet place because when you dealing with foolishness, logic and understanding and reason has no place. You know, it's out of place. So you when dealing with a fool, you got to speak the language of a fool sometime to clearly convey your message. And I'm on here to assess what I have done and what I have observed. And it's nothing new. So it's not all strikingly unique. Unfortunate and sad that, you know, one has to be treated in such a disrespectful, demeaning fashion in order to feel they have validation. Oh, hello, madame. How are you? I just flipped over here to the little chat box. How you doing? But you know, we and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we have to leave fools to their folly. Leave fools to their folly. I'm glad you're well. That's just fine. That's awesome. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm on my second, you know, I've been boxing with the devil. So keep me in your prayers here. But we got to leave fools to their folly. Okay. Now, with this whole thing with Jamila and her willy-nilly back and forth, up and down, all over the place, you know, what I would like to see Miss Tina do is just stop feeding the beasts. Stop feeding the animals at the zoo. You know, they say how you go to Yosemite State Park and says don't feed the bears. Some wild animals you can't hand feed them. You had to pretend like they're not there. You know, like when a coyote jump out of the bushes and catch you taking the garbage out, you just gotta pretend like he ain't there. You know, y'all both scared of each other, but we know that one of you is faster than the other one. So you just gotta pretend you don't see that big motherfucker over there. Put the garbage in the garbage can, make as much noise as you can, and go on back in the house. Make him run back into the bushes. That's how you gotta do fools and they folly. Because everybody ain't built for foolishness. And then after we get a certain age, it just is not a good fit. Like a poorly made pair of shoes or an ill-fitted jacket. It's poorly tailored. It's just not a good look, and you don't feel comfortable, and it's not doing the proper, it's not functioning properly, you know. Either you too cold, too hot, you just you don't feel at your best when you have ill-fitted garments, you know. Leave the fools to their folly. And it's just a suggestion because I can't tell nobody what to do. I can suggest to better enhance the experience of energy exchange with people who are actually worth it and who have something to reciprocate. You know, that's just the way that goes. So, fools and their folly. Misery loves to have you lull yourself to sleep on her bosom. Okay? Misery wants you to nurse her and coddle her and stroke her and adorn her with all types of daisies and bedazzles and shit. And that bitch is miserable. Love to entertain anybody that will absorb said. You understand me? So I try to just put stuff out there in the universe that will be of some use to somebody who can really jive with me. You understand? Because these hoes ain't loyal. And I locked horns finally with this little girl who been gunning for me ever since about 2015, around in there. I'm telling you, y'all need to learn how to let shit go. I said this about 152,000 times. And nobody is picking up what I'm putting down except a select handful of acutely intelligent folk who really comprehend what that means. You have got to let bullshit go. Stay mad about every little thing that wounded my psyche or bruised my ego or didn't sound harmoniously lovely like a harpsichord and a fucking angelic choir singing in my ear. I would be rich if I had $1 for every time I got pissed off and held on to it. I'd probably be dead now, because my heart would have exploded or I would have had an aneurysm in my brain trying to wrap my head around all of that rage and anger and disappointment and so on and so on. Y'all got to let shit go. Okay? It's motherfuckers talking about shit that happened over a decade ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago. You know, some of this shit, you know, I'm surprised you even still remember what the fuck you was mad about, what you was bickering about with the next person. Because it's so foolish and useless. It's just frivolous bullshit. Madam's originally did. I'm trying. I'm trying. I try to use different words, and It's hard work, trying to reach deaf, hard of hearing motherfuckers, you know. But you have to go, let it go, and whoever brought it, let them go too. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can't hold on to every sliver of emotion that's unpleasant to you because it takes a toll on your health mentally, spiritually, and physically. Some of us don't have a goddamn soul. So, that's why we are hither and yon in such reckless fashion. Like Jamila, something has extinguished her light long time ago. Okay. Like the old folks you say, long time ago. And we just have to leave fools to their folly. And I stooped way low tonight because I'm just up to here with bullshit, period. Not just from social media, because I haven't even really been on here like that to really keep abreast of everything that has transpired. However, you know, people talk, the streets hum, and shit gets back. Because there are people who do understand what loyalty means, and they are people who have a genuine concern for the well-being of others. And amongst the metaphysical community, there are a lot of us out here who take this shit real serious because it's effective and it works and it is part of our DNA and who we are, you know. And when you have people looming around like vultures, such as Jamila, and I can name a few others too, but right now she's my focal point because she is a perfect textbook example of foolishness and why we must leave fools to their folly. You know, she is a 40 something year old woman with the mind state of a 12 or 13-year-old child. And it's truly, deeply, regrettably unfortunate that that mental little child did not receive the nurturing that she needed at that point in her life. The validation wasn't there, clearly. And now, when we know better, in order to do better, we choose to be lazy and allow dysfunction to consume us. You have got to leave fools to their folly. You know, we've all witnessed 152 million people have tried to explain to Lucy, have tried to break it down for her, you know, myself included, you know, and I'm not a big fan, excuse me, of confrontation. That yawn jumped out of nowhere. I don't like confrontation, but I will confront that ass when it's on some bullshit. So this morning was something that I had to do because people don't understand grace. They don't understand tact, polish, um, being demure and dignified, and having a manner in which you handle all situations in an appropriate fashion. But everybody just slap a label on something and, shove it into a box in the corner somewhere, and they don't really develop the tools for conflict resolution, or understanding that quietly backing away from somebody is doing you both a favor. Now, it might not seem that way to the person that's being left behind, you know, because when I disconnect from you, that is it. I don't want shit else to do with you, especially if it was on a negative tone. You know, the energy was negative, and we have to separate for, really ugly reasons. And a lot of times people make shit a lot more ugly than they have to. Excuse me. When you disconnect and back away, and in this particular case, as I said over on Tina's platform, Jamila had an epic meltdown when she realized a week or two later that I had disconnected myself from her uh, on social media and places like that, because it's just some really inappropriate, disrespectful shit when you talk sideways about someone who you do not know, will never know, and pass it off as a joke when you really know deep down inside that is your true pathology. And when you give an indication that you cannot be trusted, that's the quickest way to never fucking see or hear from me again. Because it's my choice to detach from you. It's my choice how long I would like to endure that type of dysfunction. It's all my choice on what the next phase is with me, according to if we will continue to develop a connection, or if I choose I can't fuck with you. Just all depends. See? So have to leave fools to their folly, because you're wasting energy. Uh, Wasting energy, wasting time, wasting precious, precious brain cells on a person who is determined not to get it. It's their sole purpose to be obstinate. So leave fools to their folly. You know, there's no more clear way that it can be presented. Because something is definitely attached to that young woman, and it's going to continue to haunt her life until she stops running and stops trying to deflect down onto others, and shirking her own responsibility in participating in this nonsense of a quest across the country to meet up with a complete stranger, and of course, instead of seeing it objectively for what it is, people like that will always turn it around and say you're jealous, and like I say, I have to have something that I want, or either that you have acquired that I have not yet, and for me to have some type of desire to emulate what you've produced. And that I covet nothing of anybody. Because just like you may have obtained a house, I can do the same thing. I've proven that to myself already. You might have gotten an upgrade on your vehicle. I've proven that too. I've purchased many vehicles before So, that material shit to validate your character is dysfunctional, and it is unbalanced, and it is the most conflicted shit you can do, which is why society, and especially among, you know, people of color, why our priorities are so fucked up, and why our poor spending habits are beyond control, beyond repair almost, because we make these knee-jerk emotional reactionary decisions when it comes to, practicality. Now I was going somewhere else with that too, but I'm high, so I lost my train of thought. But I was saying that to say this, you know, um, jealousy is a really nasty, filthy, vile form of energy. And you have to have something that I give a fuck about in order for me to have any type of envy or any type of desire to copy or emulate someone else, because I enjoy being different. That's something that I have embraced because of how I grew up and where I grew up and the things I went through, being bullied, being targeted, and this wasn't like peers. This was in the home. This was people that I lived with, grew up with, who I am blood related to by DNA. So before I could hit the door to go out into that big, brave, beautiful world, I was already, I was born into a den of dysfunction and confliction and reprobate minded people. They was broke before I even got here. So, I know better than anybody else what pain feels like, what loneliness feels like, what it is to have to do the work and dig deep down inside of you and pull out all of those things that keep you in a state of delusion, that keep you in a state of slumber, that keep you in a state of comatose, so that you cannot see your own participation in your own demise and destruction. You know, you refuse to own up to your own actions that brought you to the place you are now in your life. Is someone else's fault. Professional victim. You know, same thing with some of these idiots who on here lurking around people's profiles and social media and pulling pictures and dropping docs and all that amateur stupid high school shit y'all do. You got to leave fools to their folly, you know. Black men and women are sick. 98% of the human population has one or more overlapping mental conditions. And that's how they was raised, how they was brought up before they even had a chance, pre-K, to even sit in a classroom among their own peers. They were fucked up before they even left the nest. That's why it's so important to have a plan when you have a family, and really be a visionary when it comes to how you want your kids to molded and shaped by the world, and what you want to implant and instill in their spirit, in their psyche, in their soul. You know, you want them to have just enough compassion, but not too much where they don't. They're getting run over and getting taken advantage of and constantly having to start over because they choose so horribly with the people that they keep company, and that's a lot of what's going on with Miss Jamila over there, and I really don't like calling names and stooping down and just being so fucking rude and nasty to each other, especially sisters. My feelings. When I see two sisters fighting, and it hurts even deeper to have to be the one to truly just skull drag a bitch, her thick head, to leave me the fuck alone. Let it go. I'm leaving the foolishness to the fools and their folly, and I'm jacking this up and charging it to the game with a receipt, and we gonna move on. We gonna just move on, and we're gonna commit that to the file of I remember that. I can forgive you, but I won't forget. And a lot of people have that twisted. They feel like you didn't forgive them because you did not allow them to return to that state of dysfunction that they were in prior to getting checked. They think, oh, well, you don't forgive me. You're not allowing me to do the things that I was doing to you anymore. You know, crazy. And so they're mad at you because you refuse to take that shit from them. Eh, eh. So, leave fools to their folly. Stop feeding it. You know, if the less you feed something, eventually it will starve it and it'll die like weeds. When you have bleach or not bleach, but you have baking soda, white distilled vinegar, and a little bit, about a half a teaspoon of lemon dishwashing liquid, and mix that up into, the previous bottle. And you take that squirt bottle, you wash out an empty dishwashing liquid bottle, and you use that to mix up little concoctions around the house. If you need to squirt it on something or in a crack, that works. Life hack works well. So you take your solution and you go out to the deck or wherever, and you might see weeds growing up through the sidewalk, through the floorboards on the patio, and you squirt that solution down there, and it kills it to the root. And then you can just go back outside and sometimes just sweep the weeds away from the crevices. I had back home in Chicago, I had such a big deck out back. We had to sweep it often because it just collected a lot of dirt, and it was by the back door. So you got to sweep and maintain that entryway at all times. Anyway, so that's the analogy I'm trying to make is unless it's worth it, need to leave fools to their folly. Like I said, I'm slightly high, so I might go off on a tangent for another 6 minutes and then you jump right back in there. So I was starting to lose my damn high because of some of the stupid shit that I saw in that chat. Why are you crawling all over the page of a person who you claim to hate their guts? The people who are sworn trolls who have nothing else better to do than fuck with other people online. When they stop fucking with you, hmm, either you really fucked up in the head or you need to be evaluated, because foolishness, leave the foolishness to the fools and their folly. You don't have to address everything that's said to and about you, especially if it's by some irrelevant motherfucker who good and well on a daily basis wouldn't have nothing to do with you because you wouldn't even roll in the same circles. So It is what it is. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay. But you have got to leave fools to their folly. I'm not going to argue with no fool. And I'm not going to have a debate with a complete and utter idiot just to prove a point to these people. You know? So I don't give a fuck. And we need to leave the fuckery on the other side of the tracks because it's not worth it. You know, we all have bigger fish to fry. Everybody is going through something, some way, shape, or form. That's another thing I don't understand is how can someone have so much time on their hands to monitor what others are doing and then turn around and try to delegate to others what they should be doing. It's really unbelievable. Oh, here we got a troll. WGT police. Keep the wood grain team out, you mouth bitch. I mean, at least conjugate the sentence correctly, love. You want to put an R on the end of that you. That would be your mouth. Comma after mouth. And then a period after bitch. You might want to try to practice your grammar a little bit before you decide you want to hurl around orders and all that. I don't know who the fuck WGT is, but I have been acquainted with Monty, and I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So, um, you're just as irrelevant as Jamila. Be honest with you. So I hope I hope you got your little orgasm in there, trolling irrelevant shit. Just you see, this is a prime example of what I'm talking about with Jamila. Just random shit, you know, and they just invent an issue just that quick. See that? Just that quick. Hadn't mentioned no wood grain, anything. I ain't even mentioned nothing about a wood pencil. And this ignorant motherfucker, who type like they talk, this is Monty behind this stupid shit. I guess he must have missed me because all the other uh females over there on the wood grain team either, on the corner, on a pole, or somewhere getting the train ran on them. So I guess the quality of the selection of female interaction is nil or very slim pickings left. So instead of just staying in their own goddamn lane, they got to come and type some stupid off the cuff shit that don't got nothing to do with the price of beans in Mexico. And that's supposed to mean something to me. You see how warped people's minds are? Words on the screen is supposed to move you to silence, I guess. I don't know. Um, so, but he'll be okay too. Tina, Tina, Tina trampled all over his little feelings the other day too. So that was kind of funny. I have to admit that it tickled me a little bit because he does have like, well, I'll leave that to Tina. She's better at it than me. So It is what it is. I'd rather look like a man than have my spouse tell me I'm not one, by sleeping around with other women, openly cheating on me. If I were you, you have a lot to be desired too, sweetheart. So, you know, you can always look in another direction, that would make sense. Um, I'm still trying to figure out who's the man between you and your wife, because she looked like she got more balls than you. Mm. So it is what it is. It's a shame, that attention deficit is rapidly increasing. Just the need to have somebody engage with you. You feel so insignificant. You have to act out of character just to have somebody speak to you. You know, it's really a lot of energy to put forth for, you know, attention. It's really unfortunate that people think that is normal. They think that's healthy, functional behavior. And they just listen in and watch every move I make. Can't find anything to refute what's being said, so they have to come place a random off subject comment. Has nothing to do with the subject matter, and got nerve to call somebody else anything. You know, somebody with penmanship worse than a first grader, who is unintelligible at best. You can't even enunciate the proper vowel consonant combinations. Like, I mean, where should we start? You should have had some occupational therapists in your life in grammar school, and you probably should have been evaluated. A multidisciplinary evaluation would have been a good place to start, to see which special needs courses you should have been enrolled in throughout junior high and high school. Yeah, Ethiopia instead of Ethiopia with the sound. It's really unfortunate to be this old and still, have the comfortable mindset you do with being ignorant, you know. Mother, right, mother. That is how they do, instead of mother, mother, you know, that heavy rear heaviness of the rear palate. I believe that's what they call it. I might be wrong. A heavy rear palate where they can't enunciate the muscle for the th, you know. It's sad, to know that there are so many who slip through the cracks for such a long period of time. you know. And now the rest of society, we have to endure that unbearable screeching that nails make across a chalkboard whenever this hot marble gargling nigger open his mouth to speak. It's so painful to listen to. Exchange. Oh my goodness. Exchange gifts. Axed. AXED, axed instead of asks or asked. ED, you know. It does tickle you. It is kind of funny, but it in a sad way, you know. It's absurdly hilarious. It's very absurd. Because you would think one would want to improve themselves. You know, one would want to say, you know what, I've always had this a problem with a lisp or an enunciation problem. You know, and he's another one fixated on his genitals. You know, it's really sad. You know, and to them, you know, going to um, take a couple of college courses of speech pathology and occupational therapy, that's considered, you know, simp shit. Improving my ability to properly speak. This bastard language is already fucked up as it is. We don't need no more help. You know? But you know, that little tattoo looking nigger, he's always been infatuated and you know, just slightly obsessed with the Wolfpack in general, you know. And for whatever reason, the majority of these low frequency hybrid niggas, they're just, you know, really fixated on me for some reason. You know, they have all this juvenile shit to say, but they constantly take every opportunity they can to try to get my attention. You know, somebody that I don't like, I don't give a fuck if you notice me or not. That's just common sense, you know. Now, when he have that mind-numbing BTR that lasts all night and they just repeating the same old stale shit over and over again. If I were to call that show again and just lay into his lisping ass, then I'd be wrong. You know, while he bring his little underdeveloped, cognitively delayed ass over here, fucking with me, hadn't even mentioned little black tattoo looking nigga. You know, maybe he should go sell some of them Coogee sweaters and take his wife out to dinner so she'll stop cheating on him with other women. Maybe that might help. You know, maybe you need to read some books to your little girl so she can stop calling everything a goddamn shoe. Still, um, find some new material. I mean, it's really boring. It's not impressive, and clearly you came over here because you wanted to take something away with you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have took all that time to type them 5 or 6 little lines, you know, that don't coincide with a goddamn thing that I'm talking about on this fucking video stream. So it is what it is. And you see how I just pulled the devil out? Did you see that, Madam? He just confessed to who it is. First, he was talking in third person. Monty's gonna roast you or cook. What is it? Cook? Let me go back up and see what he said. He said, Monty, oh, Monty will be cooking me. That's what he said. He was talking in third person. Now he said, come to my hangout. So, not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I just proved that. Less than 5 minutes. Oh, Lord. Yeah, well, that was fun. Anyway, what were we talking about? Um, yeah, he probably would have benefited from occupational therapy in grammar school because back then it was much simpler. And that's when teachers and instructors were trying to keep children out of the system and out of the special needs classes because teachers took time back then to work with the children until they got them up to a good pace of learning and absorbing and comprehension. That's back then. I think he would have benefited from that. But now, as an adult, he's set in those poor habits. And those poor habits, are a reflection of the ain't shit mama that he had or has, and the lazy, lackadaisical approach that was taken into rearing him up to be the male that he is on today. Yeah, he definitely should have been in those adapted classes. It wouldn't surprise me if he needed a head apparatus to protect his head because he looks like the type who, would fall out and throw themselves in the floor, kicking and screaming. His attitude, his demeanor, and how he so quick to melt down. He might be slightly autistic too, but I see a little touch of Down syndrome. Jamila, you really need to take a vacation, sweetheart. You need a vacation from YouTube, like a good year or two, sweetheart, because you have officially released your entire mind. Um, I really feel you told me you unsubbed for me last year. Which pick a struggle, baby. Are you gonna unsub this year or was it last year? When was it, honey? Because it's 4 o'clock in the morning and you still on a you still on terror squad. You still on your rampage, honey. Light you some white sage leaves. Fill up the tub with some buttermilk, lavender, and pink Himalayan sea salt and sit your motherfucking ass down. Okay? Woosah. Okay? Jamila, you're delusional, sweetheart. You need to stop dipping your cigarettes in that fucking formaldehyde or embalming fluid or turpentine or whatever the fuck it is you doing. You fucking yourself up. Okay. Oh, Tina let me get ratchet on her platform. Um, and I have an amazing high right now. So and it's quiet in the house. So I gotta kind of keep it on the DL. Oh, Jamila, poor baby. Poor baby. Yeah, well, it was tonight. It was tonight. You see this? You see this keyboard bully here? You see her? Oh boy. Uh. That's what I'm saying. Leave the foolishness and the fools to their folly. You see that? When you're confident in who you are and what you've done, and you know you take ownership of your own actions, there's no need to explain yourself to anybody. You know. You see what I'm saying? Too bad we can't record. Yes, I can. Can I record this chat? Yes, I sure can. This is really interesting. You know, this be good example for mm, studying behaviors. You know, when you see someone deteriorating, she just slowly, bit by bit, deteriorating mentally and emotionally, just crumbling. You know, leave the fools to their folly. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is, and actions, oh, they tell you way more than anybody's words. Thou dost protest too much. So, mhm. It's almost 4:15 in the morning, and she is still up trying to prove herself to a group of strangers on social media. Okay, so why are you typing in the chat room if you're watching cable, hun? Why are you going from hangout to hangout, just, regurgitating and vomiting your dysfunction all over the place if you're watching cable? Oh my goodness. Mm-mm-mm. And she probably was waiting for that little red live button too, which, oh yeah, I know Queen gonna go live tonight, you know. But you know what? She's supposed to have unsubbed from me last year after I unfriended her on Facebook. She said she was unsubbing, and one time I accidentally clicked on something of hers, and I was on my phone. I was out with the dog. We were taking a run, and I had to look up my Fitbit, and I accidentally tapped on YouTube and tapped on her thing, and I still had all that shit she was talking about me indirectly. I tapped on the little thumbnail for her live hangout. I didn't realize she was live until I accidentally touched it. Still had a fucking wrench or hammer or whatever fuck it is over there. And I'm like, you know, this is interesting. But I'm kicked to the curb, you know. It's so sad. Now she's using all the buzzwords that I used on her earlier. You see this? Y'all, it's I'm telling you live and in technicolor, hunty. Leave the foolishness and the fools to they folly, child. Yeah, projection. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta let them show you, just further confirmation, you know? And she was just on a video, I think it was a couple of days ago, talking about raising funds to go get her daughters. But I beg for money online. Yeah. Wow. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. It took you a long time to step up to be and stand on your own 10 without help. I'm proud of you. At least you're growing a pair. Now all you need to do is purge that fucking succubus you got riding your back. Once you release that demon, I think you'll be able to heal your family. Same thing I told my daughter. Once you let go and stop doing things in spite of others, just to be spiteful, then you will have more peace. So, see, fools to their folly, y'all. This is someone who would rather be online arguing with other people back and forth all day as opposed to finding the means to go gather her precious cargo and reunite her tribe together. You understand? And now we got some threats. What you gonna do? You gonna walk from Georgia? I really touched the nerve there, didn't I, Hunty? That's all she has left, madam. That she don't have any other thing in her arsenal to reach for. And the truth always makes you want to fight. She just can't stand the raw, unadulterated truth. You know, she has to justify everything she does that is out of order and totally against what any mother in her right mind would be doing at this hour in the morning. You know, she's always got a finger to point and how everybody else is sick, but she can't even see. Well, she sees it. She just doesn't want to accept it. You can't change what you refuse to acknowledge. You'll never heal until you take ownership of what you've participated in to create your life. You know, you did this to yourself. Nobody else did it to you. And you done blamed everybody under the sun and the moon and the stars. And Jamila don't have no blame. It's always somebody else. Jamila can't fight, Madam Whip Ass. Jamila don't know how to fight. All she know how to do is talk. You know, she's a wolf ticket seller. She's a runner. She's scary. You seen how she was acting a couple of years ago on my hangout when Cat and them was fucking with her, sleeping with knives and baseball bats and crowbars and shit. Jamila can't fight. You know, that's why she stayed locked up in the house the majority of the time with that poor little precious little boy. Because if she step outside talking that shit outside, them girls down there in that red dirt country backwoods will fucking make her eat that fucking clay. You know, bury her ass in the fucking woods back there. She come wind up somewhere stinking, you know. No room to talk about anybody sick, says someone who drove herself and her family across the country for a complete stranger. Complete stranger. Just hop in your vehicle, sell all your shit, and let's go find this dick. We're gonna dick dance on today, y'all. Because he had a sexy voice on the phone. And I done had all these babies and don't know what to do with them all. And instead of co-parenting, I'm gonna make it just as difficult for him as it is for me. You know? Not taking into consideration that these children need a mother and a father. She's creating a ghetto Norman Bay. Yeah. This stuff is just really redundant now. It's so saturated and antiquated. She sucks at dick whispering because you wouldn't even see her. Oh my God. Yeah, Jamila's a little bitty thing. And she's really, really scary. You know, to be honest with you, I think them white girls did something to her to make her that way. Which is why she now doesn't want anyone to really know, even though we all know better. She tried to conceal the fact that she didn't know either one of them. But I think she know them a lot better than what she want us to realize. So y'all leave the fools to their folly, you know. Leave the fools to their folly and purge. Do your therapeutic, whatever it is. I know for me, outdoors is a big deal. And, just being in my element, chillaxing in perfect peace is what works for me. Also, I'm physical. You got to get your therapy on, You can't rely on these doctors all the time for things that can be treated at home in a homeopathic way to alleviate a lot of the stress, and stress is what is the onset of major illnesses. So leave the fools to their folly. You see how fast they dissipate when you laugh at them? When they don't get the reaction that they want, instead of reacting, you respond. She's an emotional bully. And it don't faze me not one bit because I see her coming and going in my own family and it's out about society. People have entitlement issues, man. They get real pushy, rude, and ignorant. Ignorant. They think they can just talk reckless to people and treat them like shit and, you know, force them to do shit that they don't want to do and, twisting facts and distorting the chain of events that brought them up to the point in their life that they are now. Foolishness. Delusional. I got a lot of them in my family, just delusional. Straight up and down, textbook delusional. You hear me? So, she gonna wear herself out. Eventually, she's probably gonna do about 6 or 7 more hangouts tonight because she's lonesome. And she really misses Tina. And I'm sure she misses me too because I gave her a decent little children. So, it is what it is, family. And you got to leave the fools. It's not worth getting your blood pressure all up, getting your temper all turned out of whack because of, a couple of idiots who can't control their own impulses. They have emotional Tourette's. It's not it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. So it's it's really interesting to look at certain situations the way other people do. But and to see things how other people see them from their own bird's eye view. and it's really you find that people are truly warped. Their minds are really truly warped and damaged in addressing, the issues and the underlying pain, that underlying pain that dysfunction has caused. So, but this is my homie, Bruno Mars. I think this is a really cute video too. Yeah, child, she can't dick whisper or dick dance because way she ugly, how ugly she act. Jump in a Cadillac, girl, I put miles on it. My signal keeps jumping, y'all. I don't know what's up, but I have too many windows open. You deserve it, baby. You deserve it all. I'm gonna give it to you. Yeah, my signal is acting up. So leave the fools to their folly. And y'all have a lovely rest of your morning. I'm going to turn it in because I have had one long day and I got to be productive later today. So, one love, one unity, one nation, heal the nation. Y'all take good care of yourself and each other. Leave the fools to their folly, okay? Don't feed it anymore. Just don't feed the beast. Don't throw no more potato chips in the cages with the chimps. Don't feed the bears at the Yosemite Park no more. Leave the fools to their not my circus, not my animals. Okay. Good night, madame. You rest well. And everybody else that's watching, thank you for tuning in. And I am out for now. One love.